Yay! Oh, getting far too old for this. Far too old. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, hello, and welcome to my first YouTube video of a series on Football Manager. Yes, that's right, I'm moving Football Manager over from my Twitch, which you can find in the description below. We stream every Tuesday and Thursday from 7 PM GMT, and every Saturday from 7:30 GMT, over to YouTube's, because it's good, and I want to. Yes. We are going to be doing a series on Football Manager, where I go through the 5 Champions Leagues of the world to get the Pentagon! I think that'll do for an intro. So yes, as you can see, I'm in charge of the Halifax Wanderers Football Club over in Canada. Yes, we are going to Canada land for our first team. They are not in the European... in the European? They are not in the CONCACAF Champions Leagues, the North American Champions Leagues, but we're going to get them there. And what we're going to do today is watch the first 5 matches of the league. We have played some friendlies where we drew 2-2 with our second 11. It was a bit strange because Halifax Wanderers do not have any youth teams, so therefore it was basically my first team against my other first team. We also played Ottawa South United and Valour in friendlies where we beat them 5-2 and 3-2. We are now up against Valour as we start the Canadian Premier League. My tactics is a classic Fergie 4-4-2 formation. Oh yes, it is a slight tweak on Sir Alex Ferguson's classic 4-4-2 from the late 90s and early 2000s, where we have some fullbacks that attack and support. We have a ball-winning midfielder and a box-to-box midfielder. Think Keane and Scholes. And then we have a poacher and an advanced forward, so not quite Andy Cole and Dwight York, but to that effect, we're going to get some goals. This is how it looks so far. This is my squad. As you can see, we now have injuries to both our star striker, João Morelli, our up-and-coming centre-back, Kale Laffey, and Ludwig Kaju Amla, who is a backup striker. We have 2 unregistered players because you can only register 23 players for the Canadian Premier League. So, unfortunately, Lefumpa Mwandwi and Aidan Rushinas has dropped out of the squad. However, we did sign Matthew Nogueira on a free because he's a good goalkeeper. Yes, so we go into our first team game in the Canadian Premier League against Valour FC. Let's go and see what we can do against Valour after we beat them 3-2 in the last match. This is how the team shall be setting themselves up. We have Jan Fillion, Jacare Fernandez, Christian Campagna, Mohamed Omar, Riley Ferrazzo, Andre Rampersad as our captain, Aidan Daniels, CJ Smith, Wesley Timoteo, Theo Colom and Samuel Salter. On our bench we have Matthew Nogueira, Jake Ruby, Karim Sow, Anthony Stolar, Lorenzo Caligari, Massimo Ferran, and Canada! A Brazilian named Canada, how apt. Valour lines up with this team. Muraciranwa in goal. Kevin Rondon, Jean-Baptiste Michael Debrien, Baquero, Polisi, Kian Williams, Catavolo, Neon Gabar, and Walter Ponce, with their bench looking like Yesley, Campbell, Carlos, Uloa, Gutierrez, Samake, and Siage. Let's get into it. We go straight into our first highlight. A Pacifique! Neon Gabar scores within a minute. Fantastic. Throw in from Williams to Rondon. Gets Pacifique and heads it past Fillion. Not ideal. But it is what it is and we are where we are. Here we go. Samuel Salter tries to get to it. He doesn't quite. Jean-Baptiste catches it up. Mohamed Omar gets it back and we start another attack from the back. Daniels to Smith. Tries to find Salter. Doesn't quite get there. Daniels gets it back to Fernandez. Timoteo Colom. Salter. Daniels! Oh, there's a penalty shout there! That was a penalty shout! Big oofs. Big oofs. Okay, 1-0 down at half time. Let's fire the map. Let's fire them up. Let's go. Omar with the free kick on the line to Campagna. Andre Rampasad. Back to Campagna. Tries to find Fernandez. Ooh, Samuel Salter doesn't quite get there. Doesn't quite make it. What a shame. Smith tries to find Salter. Ferrazzo. Timoteo to Salter. Rampasad. Rampasad tries a shot of a rocket. Goes over the bar. Fantastic. Let's demand more. Let's get them pumped. Let's get them pumped. Mohamed Amar. Amar? Omar. Amar? Neymar? I wish. That'd be fantastic. Rampasad, Colombe through the defence on his own. Pop it through, Murasawa. Oh! Doesn't quite make it. Nyongabaya. Pacifique is on his way down the left. Catavolo. Oh, it's an offside. That saves us. Let's make some substitutions. Okay. Who's not been playing well? Samuel Salter. Let's get Canada on for Salter. Let's get Wesley Timoteo off. Massimo Ferran. Ronnie Ferrazzo hasn't played well either. Let's get Anthony Stolar on and let's make him an attacking fullback. Here we go. Let's pump him up. Go in there, make a difference. They're inspired. Confirm. Let's go. Let's encourage the team. This is roll up my sleeves time. Oh yeah. We're going to lose 1-0 here. We're going to lose 1-0. No, we're not. De Bruyne. To Mikhail. Tries to find Ponce. Ponce gets it. Ponce whips it in. Pacifique heads it past the bar. And we've lost 1-0. What a great start. Great start. Wasn't a good match. Our defence was okay. I didn't like what we saw, but some of them are motivated. It's okay. It's all fine. And so we move on. That leaves us 6th in a League of 8. Not so good. We're expected to finish mid-table, by the way, but I'm hoping we get into these top 4 places. We now go up against Pacifique, or Pacific, the Pacific FC, in 7th place in our next match in 2 days. We should be fine. We should be fine. Pacific's scouting report, let's have a little look. There's a good standard of heading. Canada's heading ability may be able to help this. There's an impressive standard of quality passing. Rampasad's ability to win the ball back may combat this as well. They're not good with off-the-ball movement, and there's not enough leaders in the squad. We're going to use suggested training, and we're going to continue on. We are set to make a second signing of Louis Larry Latanzio. However, I've got an issue here where we've got no spaces for anyone else in our squad to be registered. I have signed Louis Larry Latanzio for free. Well, for £1,300 to come out of a budget of £500,000. He is coming in to replace some of our injured strikers, most notably João Morelli. I have had to unregister Nassim Naujar because 5 centre-backs, we've got 4. Yes, Kyle Lowry is out 3 to 4 months, but that's okay. We'll be fine. Let's get him on board. There we go. I'm a little bit brighter now because I've adjusted my camera settings. We are going to register Louis Larry Latanzio. I'm going to assign him a squad number of number 28. Yes, that seems right. He seems like he'd like 28. And Rampasad's going to welcome him in. He's happy to do that. We are coming up against Pacific FC as Atletico Ottawa face Cavalry FC, Vancouver FC face Forge FC, Pacific face us, and Valor face York United. The expectations is to get a draw from both the board and the supporters. Are as hopeful as ever of beating Pacific FC and hoping that Louis Larry Latanzio, Triple L I'm going to call him, makes his debut. We also have 3,859 season tickets for the season. That's good. Whilst we're here, let's have a look at the club vision. We are to finish in the mid-table of the Canadian Premier League and be competitive in the Amway Canadian Championship. Currently all stable. We have good support from backroom staff and players. We are going to grow the club's reputation. Maximum 1-year contracts for anyone over the age of 32. Our supporter profile, we have a good section of core fans, 37%, with hardcore fans at 13. Family is a quarter of the stadium size. Fair weather is 9%. No corporate fans at all, but there's casual fans at 16%. We have a low supporters influence on the board. We have 29.4 thousand followers on social media, so go and follow Halifax Wanderers FC if you really want to on their social medias. Let's get that number up. And we have no supporters on the season ticket waiting list. However, our supporters want us to become an established Canadian Premier League team. I think we can do that. Yeah, I think we can do that. My team for Pacific FC includes just 2 changes. Canada comes in for Theo Cole. 2 changes have been made for the team to go up against Pacific FC. Theo Colum comes in. He doesn't. Canada comes in for Theo Colum. Louis Lowry Latenzio. Triple L comes onto the bench in Canada's place. Let's go. So we know our starting lineup. Let's have a look at Pacific's starting lineup. Rodriguez, Lissier, Alacon, Amadoume. Sound like a broken record there. Milieu, Giguere, Vliet, Yeats Young, Makumbilwa, Toussaint, Hurd, and Salouf line up as the starting 11 for Pacific. Gazdov, Lejeunesse, Triantafilu, Reed, Torreson, Didic, and Binate are on the bench for Pacific. Who knew I'd come into this YouTube video, this YouTube series, and start getting names wrong right off the bat? Feels a bit awkward, really, doesn't it? They're playing a 4-2-3-1 formation. We've got our standard 4-4-2. However, I have swapped out some tacticalness. I've put the ball-winning midfielders and the box-to-box midfielders in a Metzala and a Carrilero role. So we'll see how that gets on as a slight tweak to our tactic. Here we go. Just waiting and waiting and waiting for a highlight. Here we go, 12 minutes in. Pacific with Vliet with a free kick that goes wide of the right post. With Fillon getting it. Maybe getting a hand to it. Did he get a hand to it? We don't know. We'll soon find out one day. One day we'll find out. Campagna over to Rampersad. Back to Campagna, tries to find a long ball to Canada, doesn't quite get there. Oh, Canada! Rodriguez Lissier tries to set up a counter-attack for Pacific. Salouf finds Hurd. Hurd unleashes a shot, and it's bundled in. And we're 1-0 down again. Oh, no. Oh, this is the worst possible start to my managerial career on YouTube. Let's have a look at this in slow motion. Hurd. Oh, Rampersad gets a foot to it. Oh, Andre Rampersad, what are you doing? Let's encourage the team to our next highlight. Here we go. Fernandez finds Vliet. That's not good. Ferrazzo it comes back to, though. Back to Fernandez. Smith, Ferrazzo. Daniels unleashes a shot and it goes just wide of the post. Ooh, and we're going to go into half-time, 1-0 down yet again. Not ideal. Not ideal. 10 shots, only 1 on target to their 7-2. We have a higher expected goals than them, but we're not keeping the possession. We're not completing our passes. People are motivated. Let's get into the second half. Fernandez finds Rampersad. He was knocked over by Hurd. That was a shout, ref. Ref, that was a shout. Hurd is winging it down the left. Finds Toussaint. Back to Hurd. Campagna blocks it. It's back to Toussaint though. Finds Vliet. Oh, Mukumbilwa just knocks it over the crossbar. 60 minutes in, I think it's time for some substitutions. In fact, let's watch this highlight first. Rampersad. Fernandez tries to cross it in. It comes back to Toussaint for Pacific. Back to Salouf. Salouf making a run. It crosses it to Hurd, who's unmarked. He's unmarked. He was not covered. He was not covered. Great attacking play by Pacific. You have to give him that. Toussaint to Salouf. Omar and Campagna were all over Salouf. Didn't get the tackle in, but he could just pop it over to Hurd, unmarked. All of my defence were all over the place. It's time. It's time for Laurie Latanzio. Triple L to come on in place of Canada. Aidan Daniels has come off for Lorenzo Caligari, and I'm going to make my final substitution. It's going to be Anthony Stolar for Riley Ferrazzo. Let's get them pumped up. Let's get them getting goals. Toussaint. Rampersad doesn't quite get there, but he gets a tackle in. It comes back to Fillion. Not Nathan Fillion, but Canada's Fillion. Let's encourage them to get at least a goal, because otherwise this will be awkward. A 1-0 loss and a 2-0 loss in my first 2 matches. It is awkward. Fantastic. That's happened. Brilliant. Just brilliant. A 1-0 loss and a 2-0 loss in our first 2 matches puts us down in 7th place, on equal 0 points with Atletico Ottawa. Whereas Cavalry storming ahead with 6 points, 2 wins in 2. Vancouver in 2nd, Forge, Valor, Pacific go into 5th place with 1 win. New York United still with a match in hand against Valor, by the way, on 1 point there. After losing our second match against bitter rivals, apparently Pacific FC, we've really got to up our game for the next match. Josh Hurd being a very good player against us in that last match. Earlier, I didn't cover our staff incomings. I only covered player incomings. We have replaced some of our coaches on the team. I have got Liverpool cult hero Bolo Zenden in as my assistant manager. It burns me to say that, being a United fan, but he was the best of a bunch that I could pick from. We also brought in Bill Gaudet as our goalkeeping coach. He's alright. As our fitness coach, I brought in Maltese international legend Ivan Woods. And as our coach, I brought in the Swansea man, the Welsh Pirlo, Ashley Williams. Is it Pirlo? No, Pirlo was a midfielder. I need a defender. I need an old Italian defender to compare him to. York United FC are coming up in our next match. They are a closely knit group of players who work very well for each other, with Jake Ruby's work ethic potentially able to help combat this. A hard-working squad, however, they're not good at goalkeeping in terms of handling nor reflexes. However, standout player looks to be Asaze de Rosario, yes, the son of Canadian legend Dwayne De Rosario, who from previous football managers he was an instant go-getter for me from LA Galaxy. But looking at Jose's, he could potentially be a dangerous threat for us. This time round I am going to use Bolo Zenden's suggested 11, with Jan Fillion, Jake Ruby, Callum Watson, Karim Sow and Anthony Stolar as our back four, Thomas Geraldo, Lorenzo Caligari as our midfield duo, Massimo Ferran and Louis Triple L, Larry Natanzio are on the left wing, Theo Colom and Canada up front for us. On our bench, we will have Matthew Noguera, Christian Campagna, Riley Ferrazzo, Aidan Daniels, CJ Smith, Wesley Timoteo and Samuel Salter. Triple L, however, is coming up against his former employees in York United Football Club. Martin Nash is very excited to go up against Triple L as a former player. Louis is also looking forward to it, apparently. Hopefully we can take advantage en route to a match-winning performance from him. Our substitutions have changed from Bolo Zenden's initial team layout. We now have Fernandez, Campagna, Stolar, Daniel Smith and Salter on the bench alongside Noguera, with Riley Ferrazzo coming in for Stolar. Don't know why he suddenly made that change. He just decided that that's what he was going to do. So fair enough. York United line up like this: Giansopoulos, Thompson, Samario, Sumaro, yes, Muradukutas, Faye, Adakujbe, Gagnon Lapa, Alu Bayiha, Bababui, and Ozes de Rosario as their starting 11. On their bench, they've got Fatah Himaras G, Paris G, Max Ferrari, Wright, Kanumbe, and Austin Ricky on their bench. For us, Jan Fillion, Jake Ruby, Callum Watson, Karim So, Riley Ferrazzo, Massimo Ferren, Thomas Geraldo, who is apparently our wonder kid for the season, is making his first start alongside Caligari, with Larry Latanzio, Triple L on the left wing, Theo Colom and Canada up front, with Nagueria, Fernandez, Campagna, Stoller, Daniel Smith, and Samuel Salter on the bench. Let's get into it. York United line up with a 4-3-3 formation, with 2 losses and a draw in their last 3 matches. Our last 3 matches in the league, however, losses. Lots of losses. It's alright, we're going to change this. It's all going to be better now. Let's go to kick-off. Jan Fillion pops it over to Triple L. He throws it through to Per Ferrin. And he unleashes a shot on Giansopoulos. He tips it over the bar. And that's the end of the highlight. We go into the next one, where Karim Sow gets the ball off Ozes de Rosario. It's going to be so hard not to call him Dwayne. Dwayne The Rock de Rosario. Maybe he's a coach I could bring in. Bahia. Through to de Rosario. Fillion catches the ball, gathers it up into his grasp. And he just fires it back to Thompson. Fantastic. It's another York attack. How fantastic. Through to Thompson. Bahia. De Rosario pops it wide of the post. Ooh, that was good. That was good from York. But we want to be better. Karim Sow tries to find Ferran. Doesn't. Giansopoulos catches it all up. We're going to go very attacking, and I'm going to encourage my team as Bahia finds Gagnon Lapere. Back to Thompson. Gagnon Lapere. Nice little passes, little touches. But we have to stand firm. We have to stand strong. As De Rosario pops it wide of the post again. Well, this is good. It's not. York are all over us currently. York are all over us. It's not ideal. At all. 22 minutes in. They've had 4 shots. None on target. Alu pops a crossover to Gagnon Lapere. Yeah. Oh, he's doing a little dance like a weirdo. Oh, what a free kick from Alu. Gagnon Lapere was not pulled up at all, and he just headed it across the goal. We're 1-0 down again, chaps. We're 1-0 down again. Demand more, and let's remove early crosses. Triple L finds Canada. Tries to find Theo Colom. Yes! It is what we call a goal.
Booth, eat my goal. The goalie has got football pie all over his shirt.
Oh, yes, he has. What a lovely, lovely cross from Colom. That was fantastic. Very much like that. That was good. That was good. We're 1-1. We scored our first goal of the season. Get in. Gagnon Lapere. Massimo Ferran nicks it back. He's running. Canada's running. He fires a shot. It goes over. Whoops. Whoopsie. 1-1 at half-time, chaps. 4 shots, 1 on target, an expected goal of 0.55, whereas York, 9 shots, 2 on target, 1.09 expected goals. 8 fouls to their 7, 66% of our passes completed compared to their 81. We have had less possession, so we are much on the back foot, very much on the back foot, as I need them to get pumped up, keep going, make the difference. I have faith. Start the second half. Dun, 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 dun. Jan Fillion throws it over to Triple L. He can make a difference today as he threads it through to Canada. Theo Cologne. Colom. Theo Colom. I'll get all these names right by the end of this series, I promise. Unless I get sacked, in which case I'm going to have to learn a new lot of names. 66 minutes in. Let's make some subs. I am going to bring on Aidan Daniels for Lorenzo Caligari. Callum Watson is coming off for Christian Campagna. And Massimo Ferran is going to have Triple L take his place and CJ Smith off the bench. Let's get the winning goal. CJ Smith is nervous. Campagna is inspired and Aidan Daniels composed. York United very much dominating us all over the pitch so far. Something needs to change. Or do we keep on keeping on? Baboui, Sal, Barazzo picks it all up, crosses it over the box to Jake Ruby. Makes no sense that our players are doing that. Triple L finds Theo Colom. Theo Colom! Yes! It's a goal!
Striker!
Yes! Oh yes, you're going to hear a lot of Alan Partridge this season if we get goals like that. Colom threads it under. Giantosopoulos. 2-1. Oh. And it's not offside either. Canada was played offside. It didn't go anywhere near him. So therefore, we're all good. Yes. Look at this. Let's hold on to the win now, chaps. Let's hold on to the win. We can do it. We can do it. Oh, we can do it. 87 minutes in. The stats tell a very different story, with York being all over us, but us getting that incisive goal to make it 2-1 at full time. Our first win of the season. Yes! Let's go. Let's flipping go. Nice work. That was good. Everyone's pleased, except these people who are composed. That pushes us up, ladies and gentlemen, to 6th place. With our first win of the season. We've still got a -2 goal difference. Don't worry about that. That's totally fine. We ignore that. That's fine. As long as we can get into the 3rd or 4th, I'll be happy. And yes, in my press conference, I did indeed say I would prefer Theo Colom to Kylian Mbappe. Maybe. I just wanted to keep it positive. That's all I wanted, was I just wanted positivity. Now we have 3 games under our belt, we can look at our data hub and see how we're getting on. Our non-penalty expected goals per 90 minutes is okay. Let's have a look at this. It's 1.14, conceded per game 1.33, so we're expected to draw a lot of our games as per this. Expected goals against per game 1.53, shots per game is a 10.67. And on shots on target ratio of 18.75, we need to be making sure this and our pass completion ratio up here gets better. Tackles won, we're doing well tackles, but we're not getting the goals per game. So everything just needs to be better. Yeah, it just needs to be better. Our attacking things looks okay, we'll be honest. The Canadian Premier League average is this nice dark purple here. Fouls against per game were better than average. Non-penalty expected goals is better than average as well. Shots per game is about average. Everything else is way below average. So we need to get better. We need to get better at that. In defending, blocks per game is way more than the average. However, everything else is average or less. Clearances per game is shocking. So yeah, not so good either. Lots of passes against in the final third and fewer passes for in the final third. That puts us here in the bad section. Goal output, low scoring and leaky defence is here. We need to sharpen that up. We can do that, I'm sure. The scout report for Forge FC looks like this. They're going to play, we think, a 4-3-3. They've got good goalkeepers that command their areas very well. They possess a number of players that can take long throws. And the team is generally concentrated good. It concentrates well. However, 4 of the assists conceded in the last 7 matches have come from deep positions. Their handling isn't great in terms of their goalkeepers, and some players can be bad decision makers. We expect them to play a control possession style of play, so I'm going to revert back to our box-to-box and ball-winning midfielder roles in the midfield, as opposed to our Metzala and Carrilero tactical positions. Yeah, just going to make a point. Reza Azari looks like a young Tony Khan. Just putting that out there. Lifumpa Mwandwi is out for 2 to 3 weeks, which is fine. because he is currently not registered with us. However, this does mean we now have 4 full-time players that are injured in Lafumpa Mwandwi, Kale Loffrey, João Morelli, our star striker, and Ludwig Kujo Amla. Not ideal. 22 at an increased risk of injury. Okay, our team for the match against Forge FC, who were last year's runners-up in the Canadian Premier League, by the way. We've got Jan Fillion, we've got Fernandez, Campagna, Omar and Ferrazzo as our back four, Rampersad and Daniels in our midfield, Ferran and Timoteo on the wings, with Salter and Column up front. On the bench, Noguera, Ruby, Sal, Watson, Smith, Triple L, and oh Canada. Let's get into it. Last year's runners-up, Forge FC, managed by Bobby Smirniotis? Smirniotis. Yeah, we'll do that. They have Tristan Henry, Jordan Dover, Rezat Rama, Dominic Samuel, Ashton Morgan, Abukar Sissoko, Akinioti Johnson? Yeah. Carl Becker, Boakay, Shoinier, Jordan Hamilton as their starting 11. Dino Bontis, Metusala, Hoja Burpor, Jose Hernandez, Kwasi Poku, and Miles Green on their bench. Our referee for today, Philip Juzic, and let's play the game. Forge FC set to line up with a 4-3-3 formation. Fantastic. That has been a big thing in the latest Football Manager. The 4-3-3 has been strong. Forge currently in second place with 6 points out of 3 games. Let's go. As we go 16 minutes in with Henri trying to find a long ball up the pitch. Omar catches it up. Campagno to Rampersad. Timoteo tries to find Samuel Salt, who's through on goal. Let's pop it in. Oh! What was that? What was that? Ladies and gentlemen, we have our first big injury. Christian Campagna has had the match stopped at 35 minutes for a potential foot injury. Karim Sow is on to take his place. Oh. 48 minutes of the first half, and we have held Forge FC, current second place and former runners-up of the Canadian Premier League, to a 0-0 draw. That's fine. I'm happy with that. We have had a better expected goals. We have also completed more passes than we did in the last match. 73%, sorry. So that's good. 45% possession. Again, getting slightly better. I think we're playing with more confidence. So let's carry that on. I think we can do it. We go into the second half, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages and genders, with Dover on the right-hand side for Forge FC, going past Timoteo. Timoteo doesn't quite make that happen as he gets the ball back. However, we immediately lose it to Forge FC. Chounier! Oh, they came out of the blocks, didn't they? Oh, Chounier. Oh. Kyle Becker through Sal and Fernandez. Nobody picks it up. Nobody gets him. We're 1-0 down against current second place. Going full attacking mode and encouraging the team. Riley Ferrazzo looks like he's given everything. Let's replace him with Callum Watson. Ferrazzo. Yeah, no. A tame shot into the path of Henri. Boakay. Oh, that was good from Ferran. But it goes straight back to Samuel, who's on the left wing. Fernandez does get it. Fantastic. He tries to find Ferran. He does. Ferran down the right-hand side. Finds Colom. Back to Ferran. That was a pointless pass. He might as well have just carried on running. Timoteo through to Salter. Aidan Daniels. Oh, Salter. Oh, it's just wide of the post. Just wide of the post. Oh. Oh, so close. Ooh, so close. Becker, Sissoko. Boakay on the right hand side. Watson doesn't quite make it to him. Daniels picks it up from deep in the midfield, but he passes it straight back to Morgan and Forger back on the attack. Ferran gets a block. Chouinier. Fernandez gets a block. Sau finds Rampersad. Let's start an attack, guys. Let's go. Theo Colom. Theo Colom finds Salter. Passes it back to Samuel. What? We're back on the attack now. Rampersad. No, we're not back on the attack. Well, this is... Hamilton doesn't Fillion on a one-on-one situation. Fails to stop the shot. Forger 2-0 up. In 59 minutes. Hamilton, Boakay, back to Hamilton. Fillion had no chance. 66 minutes in, let's make our last substitution. We are going to get Canada on for Theo Colom. Yes, that's what we're going to do. Also, just noticed Karim Sow is injured with a potential lower leg injury. Well, that's not helpful at all. Boakay. That was it for the highlight. Brilliant. Timoteo. Rampersad. Tries to find Ferran. Doesn't. Ferran loses it. Rampersad gets it back. Aidan Daniels loses it. Forger back on the attack. Boakay. Handsome Boakay. It's 3-0. It's 3-0 already. Oh dear Lord. Oh dear Lord. 3 losses in 4 games, chat. 3 losses in 4 games. Not ideal at all. Although our expected goals was much higher than Forge's. I thrashed the arms. I said, that wasn't good enough. We should have won that match according to the numbers. And everybody looks happy. Understands due to being tired. Motivated, inspired. Callum Watson's still nervous. Of course he is. We are in 6th place with 1 win in 4. -5 goal difference. We've got 2 goals for us, but we've had 7 go back against us. We have had a leaky defence. How do I change that? Christian Campagna is out for 7 to 9 weeks. He'll be out for 5 to 6 weeks. I'll make that decision. He's out for 5 to 6 weeks. Karim Sow is out for 2 to 3 days with a bruised shin. Let's have a look at our scouting report for Cavalry FC, our next match. Our last match of the episode today. Should be a close contest between 2 very evenly matched teams. They play gegenpress and they are expected to line up in a very narrow 4-3-3 formation. High levels of off-the-ball movement within the squad. The team are genuinely impressive with crosses, often threatened with deliveries from wide areas. They're dribblers. There are questions about the squad's marking. They tend to lack good tackling and they're not good in terms of positioning, but they are 4th from Tommy Wheeldon Jr. as their manager. Tactical changes we're going to make. I've brought us back to the Mezzala Carrellero midfield roles. We are going to hit early crosses. We're going to take off, play through the middle. We're going to focus down the wings. We are going to go down the wings. We are going to go more direct and a slightly higher tempo. We are also going to take off, get stuck in, and trap inside. We're going to make them narrow because they're good crosses. Let's congest that space in the middle and then we can ping out to the wings. That's my thinking. Will that work? Who knows? We currently have 6 players on our injured list. That's right, João Morelli is still out. I can't wait for him to be back. He will fire in us goals. Mwandri is still out for 6 days to 2 weeks. Carl Loffrey is still out for 3 to 4 months. Karim Sow should be back tomorrow. Christian Campagna is still out for up to 5 weeks, as is Cujo and Amla up to 3 months. Ladies and gentlemen, the woes keep on woeing as Canada is now out for up to 4 to 5 weeks as well. This is not, as I say, fantastiche. This is sad. Okay, we are ready to go up against Cavalry FC, 4th in the Canadian Premier League. They will be without their captain, Mason Trafford, who has a hamstring strain, and Andre Krobel is out with pulled knee ligaments. We are still without João Morelli, Christian Campagna. Canada, Kyle Loffrey, and Ludwig Kujoamla are still out and unavailable for selection. 2 wins, 2 draws and a loss in their last 5 games. Us on a 4-loss streak with 1 win in the middle. We are going to the ATCO field at Spruce Meadows. We have further issues with Matthew Nogueira, who was set to make his first start in this match, out injured for 1 to 2 days with a bruised shin. Which means he is unavailable for selection. Jan Fillion will come in for him, as he has done. And Nassim Nawajar, who I did unregister, has now been re-registered in light of Christian Companion's injury alongside Kale Loffrey, because we've now got a lack of defenders. So he will make his start onto the bench. The Tunisian under-21 defender. Our expectations for the upcoming match against Cavalry FC are defeats across the board. Yes, the board expect us to lose this match. They have no specific expectations. The supporters are also predicting a defeat, but hope for a change in formation to improve results. I'm not entirely sure how we can change formation with so many injuries and no youth team to pull from, and only 23 players that we can register for the league, and that number dropping quite quickly. But good news, Matthew Nogueira is capable of playing the next match, so therefore I can make the change to see if he can go in, but I am going to bring Jan Fillion into the bench in place of Jake Ruby. Karim So also misses out, so our team will look like this. We have Nogueira in goal for his first start for Halifax Wanderers. Zachary Fernandez, Watson, Omar and Ferrazzo at the back. Caligari and Daniels in the middle of the field. Andre Rampersad drops to the bench. CJ Smith comes in for Massimo Ferran. We've also got Wesley Timoteo on the left. Triple L and Samuel Salter are up front. Jan Fillion, Nujar, Stoller, Rampersad, Geraldo comes onto the bench again. Ferran and Theo Colum on the bench for us this time around. And for our final match of this episode against Cavalry, they line up with Carducci, Petrasso, Shom, Montgomery, Fisk, Klomp, D'Almeida, Daly, Camargo, Escalante and Joe Mason. For the first time this episode, I've been able to pronounce everyone's names right off the bat. Fantastic. On the bench, I've got Farago, Verhoeven, Rogers, Bevan, Musset, Aird and Ethan Beckford at Spruce Meadows, the ATCO field. Let's go! Cavalry FC line up with that 4-3-3 narrow formation. I'm going to force them to play inside. Let's clamp up that midfield. Let's not let them get out onto the wings. We will line up with our 4-4-2 formation, although, let's be honest, with our last 5 matches, 4 losses and a win, well, let's go last 4 matches, 3 losses and a win. I might need to make some tactical changes ready for the next episode, but let's have a look. Let's see how we get on with this match. Camargo with a free kick within a minute. Oh, Nogueira makes a save and Ferrazzo clears it out to the byline. Fantastic. Good start from Nogueira. Camargo. Escalante on the edge of the box. Fisk whip it in. He could whisk it. Whiskey Fisk. As Sergio Camargo scores for Cavalry FC and we are down 1-0 within the first 10 minutes. This is not ideal again, chat. This is not ideal. CJ Smith clears to Petrasso, crosses it over to Camargo. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I don't have any words right now. Mohamed Omar tries to find Samuel Salter, doesn't. It comes back to Cavalry as Camargo gets the ball through, crosses it through to Joe Mason. Fernandez with the clearance. Oh, that was close coming off the post. We have very much been on the back foot here. We are not trapping them inside, apparently. Now we are. Escalante finds Camargo. Camargo tries to slot it underneath Nogueira. Nogueira pops it out for a corner kick. Ooh, hello. There we go. We're back. Shom with the corner. Somebody gets a clearance, but it comes back to Shom, and that's it. That was all she wrote. Nogueira with a goal kick to Omar. Cannot take the long kicks, apparently. Timoteo Salter through to Triple L. Oh, he nudges it over the bar. Through on goal, we could have got that shot off. We could have had a shot on target at the very least. There, Carducci with a long kick. And it comes out to Camargo. Joe Mason, Ferrazzo gets there. So Nogueira can clear up. I'm going to pause it because we need some opposition instructions for this Camargo bloke. We are always going to tight mark him. We are going to normal tackle him, and we're going to show him onto his weaker foot. We're also going to do this with Escalante and Joe Mason as well, because those three up front are proving to be a hassle. Triggering a press should improve our chances in this match. Yes, I'll confirm those changes. Let's carry on. Nogueira rolls it out to Watson. Tries to find Triple L, but goes to Montgomery. Camargo. Watson. Camargo. Oh, it's 2-0. Oh, no. You know, I was saying we'll hear a lot of Alan Partridge. We're not hearing a lot of Alan Partridge right now. Not in these matches. Not in these matches. Camargo to Mason, back to Camargo. That was a lovely little 1-2, but where was my defence? Why didn't my defence get there? Yes, I'm going to proceed with the tactical changes after this goal. We need to do better. Let's fire them up. Mason. Escalante. Escalante down the left wing. Watson gets a foot to it, but comes back to Daly. Daly on the edge of the box with Fisk. Clomp. Clomp done. Clomp. Makes it 3-0. Oh, well, this sucks. Here was me thinking, we're going to do well this episode. We're going to do really well. And in fact, we've got 4 losses out of 5. With 1 shot on target. We're not even being attacking. We're not even attacking, look. What's going on? What is going on? We're 3-0 down at half time. I'm going to have to throw the bottle. They're all stressed and lost confidence. Some of them seem motivated. I maybe shouldn't have thrown the bottle, but I'm going to point the finger and say I'm not happy. Now most of them are motivated. It's Callum Watson and Zachary Fernandez. They're anxious and losing confidence, but that's fine. This is fine. We can do this. Zach Verhoeven comes on for Michael Petrasso, who was injured for most of that first half, to be fair. Let's encourage the team. Let's encourage the team to get forward. Let's do things. Do bits. We have a highlight. Oh, it's mostly cavalry. Montgomery. Diamelda. Mason. Aird. Diamelda again. Daly to Verhoeven. Verhoeven on the right wing. Watson gets the clearance, but it only comes back to the cavalry defence. Aird. Daly. Almeida. Daly. Lots of small passes, but Triple L gets the ball. Let's go. Let's attack. Timoteo. Salter. Daniels goes down in the penalty box. That's a penalty. That was a penalty. Oh. And now Cavalry are back on the counter-attack. Fisk. And that's it. 65 minutes in. Let's make some substitutions. Okay. Wesley Timoteo is being rubbish, so we're going to replace him with Ferran. In fact, actually, no. Let's undo that. Colom is coming on for Timoteo as Triple L moves to the left wing. Giraldo is going to come on for Caligari, and we're going to bring on Nuja. Callum Watson. No. Yes. Callum Watson. Cavalry have been all over us this match, and it's not looked good. But we can do it with a little bit of faith and a little bit of hope. A little bit of encouragement. 10 minutes, 3 goals. We can do this. Yes. CJ Daniels tries to find somebody, doesn't. Comes back to Verhoeven, but now Ferrazzo gets up the ball. Giraldo. Nuja tries to find Kalam. He does. Yes! It's a goal. It's offside. It was very tight offside, but offside nonetheless. Aird on the edge of the box with a free kick. Well, that was a football match. Our first 5 matches in the league have all been losses, apart from one. We lost 1-0 to Valor FC, 2-0 to Pacific FC. We then got a win, a 2-1 win against York United. Let's be honest though, we were very much on the back foot for that entire match. I don't know how we won it, but we scraped a win. Forge FC beat us 3-0, Cavalry have beat us 4-0 in our last match of the episode. That leaves us bottom of the league on 3 points with a much higher goal difference than Atletico Ottawa. I say much higher, much lower, -9 to their -6. Our next 5 matches need to be turned around. We have second bottom of the league Atletico Ottawa, Vancouver, Valor, and then we go into June with Pacific and York United once again. I think this needs to change. However, with all of these injuries, it's going to be a bit of a challenge. So that'll be it for today. I shall be back at some point this week with more, trying to get the Pentagon, trying to get Halifax Wanderers into the CONCACAF Champions League. Currently not looking so good. It'll be fine. We'll be fine. Maybe. I'm not entirely sure. I'm a bit scared. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.